Some people think that worms only affect animals, but while these infections can occur in cows and pigs, it's not an animal-specific condition, so worms can also infect humans, although it's not a common infection. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that there are less than 1,000 new tapeworm infections in humans in the United States each year. Dogs and cats can also get worms, but their infections rarely pass to humans. Oftentimes, dogs and cats get an infection after swallowing a parasite-contaminated flea. Intestinal parasites in humans are typically caused by protozoa, single-celled organisms that can multiply within your body, or helminths, worms and larvae that can't multiply in the human body. If you have or you think you have intestinal parasites, you may be interested in natural remedies to help restore your health. Before we move on, please subscribe to the channel to get notifications about our new videos. We're doing our best to create interesting content for you. Improper treatment can lead to bad consequences for the whole body. Therefore, make sure to consult a doctor before using some folk remedy. The doctor will check if you have contraindications associated with liver and kidney diseases or hypertension. If you do, some methods of getting rid of worms will need to be abandoned. Otherwise, you'll be able to deal with the problem by yourself at home without great financial investments and effort. So here are 4 reasons why you should choose traditional methods and not medication. If the dosage is right and the treatment method is chosen properly, folk remedies do not harm the body at all. Unlike medical drugs, folk remedies do not have a negative effect on the human liver. Traditional methods of treatment with medicinal herbs have a minimum of side effects and contraindications in any condition of the body. Along with the main effect of removing parasites from the body, decoctions and infusions based on herbs have a positive effect on many systems and vital activity of the human body. To make the process as effective as possible, the removal of worms is carried out in several stages. First, preparation. You need to remove all toxic substances from the body. For this purpose, regularly take pumpkin oil for a week. Second, deworming. You use the means for removing worms. These are either medicines prescribed by a doctor or decoctions and infusions of natural herbs. Third, restoration. At this stage, the work of the body normalizes. You need to be on a healthy diet and use remedies for normalization of the work of internal organs that were damaged by worms. Let's have a look at 7 biggest myths about worms. Myth number 1. If you thoroughly wash your hands before eating, then you will never get infected with worms. But what if the parasites are already in your plate? In this case, it doesn't matter how many times you wash your hands. And no, it don't mean that you should give up hygiene. Always wash your hands with soap and water, but remember that it doesn't provide 100% worm protection. Myth number 2. Hot food is never raw. That's nothing more but a funny idiom. For example, full-grown tapeworms live in the intestines. If the meat is full of parasites, then it must be boiled for at least 2 hours. Some meat, especially bushmeat, can be infected with trichinosis. The meat containing these microorganisms should never go on sale, and if there's even one larva found, then sanitary control has to send the meat for disposal. Therefore, it's better to buy meat only in big stores with all the necessary certificates. Myth number 3. Home cats don't get parasites. Many owners of home cats believe that if a cat doesn't run outdoors, then it cannot get worms. They forget that worms can be brought home on human shoes and that the cat can touch them in the hallway. There are many different worming products available on the market, and drug availability varies between different countries. While worming products may be available from pet shops and even some supermarkets, these are often old or less effective products, and some are even dangerous to use in cats. Myth number 4. There are no parasites in sea fish. It's true that river fish carries more risk for the human body, since in fresh water, more dangerous parasites are found. Of course, sea fish also have worms, but they are not so dangerous to human. There are 157 species of worms known, and only some of them cause diseases. Species that don't threaten human health are mainly found in marine fish species. Still, hardly possible doesn't mean impossible, so you need to be careful even with sea fish. Myth number 5. Freezing kills all parasites. Bovine tapeworm dies at temperatures of 12 degrees below zero or after 2 hours of boiling. This species survives negative temperatures, smoking, and salting, and still can infect human after the treatment. Myth number 6. You can find all the parasites with one test. If you have symptoms of worm invasion, you have to see your doctor. The doctor may then carry out an examination of your stool Another test is the sticky tape test, which involves applying tape to the anus several times in order to retrieve pinworm eggs, which can be identified under a microscope. If worms or eggs are not detected, your doctor may carry out a blood test to look for antibodies your body produces when it's infected with a parasite. Additionally, your doctor may take an X-ray or use imaging tests such as computed tomography or magnetic resonance imaging depending on the extent or location of disease suspected. Myth number 7. Water and soap remove all the parasites from vegetables. The best way to clean vegetables is to use boiling water and baking soda. Soap starts an alkaline reaction that kills worms, just like soda. But eating food after processing it with soap is not a good idea. Soda in turn is not harmful, and in some cases it's even beneficial. So what folk remedies can you use to eliminate worms? Some types of parasites react to natural folk remedies right after use, while the removal of other takes time. We're going to tell you about some common types of worms and how to deal with them. Ascariasis and enterobiasis. On your kitchen, you will find many effective remedies to eliminate these parasites: onion, garlic, and common spices. Most herbs used in the production of antihelminthic drugs can be easily bought in any pharmacy or just grown in the garden. Garlic. Just eat 2 to 3 cloves on an empty stomach for 6 to 7 days. Onion. You can make an effective onion tincture to get rid of worms. Grate the onion, put the resulting gruel in vodka and infuse for 7 days. Be sure to strain the liquid before use. Take 1 spoonful of the tincture 2 times a day for 3 days. You can just eat onion gruel instead. Finally, chop an onion, salt it, add some vegetable oil, and eat 1 spoonful before going to bed for 5 days. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds have long been used as a traditional remedy for intestinal parasites, especially tapeworms, and their popularity seems to be well earned. Recent studies have shown that pumpkin seeds can increase the rate of parasite removal. The reaction is believed to be caused by an amino acid in the seeds called cucurbitacin. This compound effectively paralyzes the leeching worms, making them lose their grip on your insides. When they lose their grip, it's much easier to expel them from your body during a bowel movement. Combined with foods containing natural laxatives, such as prunes, pumpkin seeds could potentially cleanse your body quite quickly. Walnuts. Get the kernels from 4 unripe walnuts and put them in boiling water for 30 minutes. Drink the decoction in small portions during the day. After the treatment, make sure to take laxatives. Pomegranate peel. The peel of pomegranate fruit as well as the bark of pomegranate tree has antihelminthic properties. The fruit is easily available and therefore the peel remedy is easier to use. Dry the peel of a pomegranate fruit and powder it. Put about 3 grams of this powder into a tall glass of water. Mix and drink. Garlic milk enema. For this procedure, peel a clove of garlic and boil it in 200 grams of milk until soft. Then cool and strain the solution. Repeat the procedure for 7 days. Along with garlic milk enema, you can still use medications prescribed by your doctor. Tansy. Make an infusion of 1 tablespoon of tansy and 200 grams of boiling water. Strain it and take 4 tablespoons 4 times a day before meals. You can also make an enema with this flower. Just pour 100 grams of boiling water over 1 teaspoon of dried flowers and make an enema with the worm solution for 7 days before going to bed. Herbal tea against worms. Pour boiling water over 1 spoonful of chamomile herbal tea zest, wormwood, and tansy and leave until the liquid cools. Drink a glass of the tea in the morning on an empty stomach and before bedtime for 3 days. Spices. Cloves and coriander are widely used in fighting parasites. Grind them in a coffee grinder and eat the powder after meals. On the first day, take half a gram, then take 1 gram on the second day and 1.5 gram on the third. Then continue taking the powder for 9 days, but do not increase the dosage. The treatment of giardiasis. In the fight against giardiasis, combine the properties of horseradish and garlic. Giardiasis is one of the most common parasitic diseases, and treating it is not that simple. So this recipe combines the 2 effective remedies for giardia, garlic and horseradish root. You will need 1 clove of garlic, 1 root of horseradish, and 100 milliliters of vodka. Peel garlic and horseradish root and grate them. Then add vodka and let the tincture infuse in a dark place for 10 days, shaking it regularly. Then strain it and take 1 tablespoon of the tincture diluted with water 3 times a day 30 minutes before meals. Traditional methods of eliminating tapeworm. And once again, garlic is in the first place in the list of best remedies. Every day you need to eat 10 cloves of garlic, not chewing, and right after that, drink a glass of boiled milk. Be sure to take a laxative 2 hours after eating garlic. Another option is to make a garlic decoction. Take 5 cloves of garlic and boil them over low heat in 200 milliliters of milk for 10 minutes. Let the decoction infuse for another 10 minutes and use it 3 times a day before meals for 1 to 2 weeks. Pumpkin seeds and lingonberry juice. This combination literally makes solitaire suffer. Mix finely crushed pumpkin seeds with lingonberry juice to a gruel consistency. In the evening before taking the remedy, eat a lot of salted herring, and in the morning, eat half of the gruel, and then eat the other half in an hour. Have a rest for 2 hours. Then get up, drink some castor oil, and just walk around the house for 5 to 10 minutes. The parasite will be eliminated within a few hours. General tips on getting rid of worms with folk remedies. Any treatment requires a proper diet, so you need to avoid dairy and fatty foods. Eat more vegetables, potatoes, cereals, lean soups, and dry bread. If you decide to use a decoction, be sure to use laxatives in order to remove dead worms from the intestines and protect the body from poisoning by the products of parasites decaying. That's all we wanted to tell you today. On Big Progress, you will find videos about the benefits of various vegetables and fruits, information about diseases and how to cure them, and many other interesting facts about housekeeping and gardening. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. Like this video if you've learned anything new and share it with your family and friends. See you soon!